While many people criticize them for not fitting in with society or the crowd, Sigma males don't let it bother them. They remain steadfast and continue living their own life according to their own rules. There are some things in life that Sigma males just don't care about. What people think is one of them. This isn't because they're arrogant or lack empathy. It's simply because they don't let other people's opinions influence their decisions. Here are 12 reasons why Sigma males don't care what people think. Number 1. They aren't copycats. Faking his identity to fit in is one of the worst things a Sigma man can do. Trying to copy someone else's life and style will only lead to unhappiness and failure. This doesn't mean they don't admire or appreciate others, but rather they are too confident and independent to be anyone but themselves. Their own ideas and values are unique, and they are proud of that. They don't try to mimic anyone else's life or look, but instead focus on what works for them. They prefer to stay authentic and unpopular rather than blend in with the crowd. This is what makes them stand out without even trying. While alpha males strive to be the center of attention, Sigma men don't need any recognition or praise. They are comfortable in their own skin and don't try to copy others. Being the same as everyone else will only lead to mediocrity, which we often see in society today. The Sigma male is a rare breed, but it's one that should be celebrated. By trusting their own judgment, prioritizing their values, and never being a copycat, they are setting an example of how to be yourself in this world full of copycats. Number 2. They don't force themselves to be an alpha. Being an alpha male isn't for everyone. While it can be attractive, it's not something the Sigma wants to strive for or imitate. He is satisfied with who he is and has no need to prove himself to anyone else. Having that extroverted alpha personality isn't necessary to reach success or gain respect. There are alternative paths to this, including psychology, logic, and body language. This is something that few alpha males understand, making them jealous of the Sigma's ability to succeed without having to put on a show. The Sigma man embraces his own individuality and finds satisfaction in what he can achieve alone. He doesn't need to measure himself against others, as he knows that success is found within oneself. Number 3. They don't care about impressing others. Unlike alpha males, Sigma males don't look to others to validate their actions. They're not driven by outside admiration when they take on a passion project. It's something deeper than that. Sigma men have their own motivations and don't rely on external approval to move forward with what they want. They don't show off to get attention. They simply do what they want and let the results speak for themselves. While alpha males boast, Sigma males stay humble. This isn't to say that Sigmas hate compliments. They simply don't let others' opinions dictate their actions. This is a key factor that sets them apart from others. They are the silent type that observes everything from the background. We often see this trait in successful entrepreneurs and leaders, the ones that don't seek validation and take their own path to greatness. This is the kind of person people would follow, not because they have to, but because they want to. Number 4. They don't bother with trends. Sigma males don't bother with trends and fads. They are more minimalistic in their life approach, allowing them to think objectively about things. This gives them a unique perspective that doesn't need validation from the crowd. They understand that what's popular isn't always right or best for them. After all, trends change quickly, but Sigma men are looking for something timeless. They don't let their decisions be swayed by what's popular and instead focus on what works for them. They go against the grain and take a more calculated approach to life. They don't jump on the bandwagon just to please others. This sets them apart and allows them to make decisions without being influenced by outside sources. While following the crowd can be easier and more tempting, Sigmas are better off when they think independently and make their own decisions. The Sigma is setting his own trends, and he doesn't care what people think. He's too busy creating his own path, which often leads to more success than if he had followed the trends. Number 5. They don't smile just to please others. Sigma males don't fake who they are. They're not going to play the part of someone they're not. This is especially true when it comes to their facial expressions. The Sigma won't put on a fake smile just to please others. He only smiles when it's genuine and appropriate. He doesn't feel the need to conform to society's standards for how people should look or act in certain situations. He is unapologetically himself and doesn't worry about whether or not people will like him. Being true to who he is will draw in the right kind of people, and that's really all that matters. So if you happen to cross paths with a Sigma male, don't be surprised if he doesn't crack a smile. He's just authentic and doesn't feel the need to change for anyone else. He will never make fake compliments just to please you. He only speaks the truth. A Sigma man will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Being genuine and authentic is something that will never go out of style, no matter how much society changes. Number 6. They really hate small talk. They don't really like talking about the weather, what people are wearing, or who just got married. Small talk is a waste of their time and energy. They have no interest in discussing meaningless topics that don't lead anywhere meaningful. The Sigma male will usually opt out of the small talk and would rather engage in more substantial conversations. He is always looking to learn something new and challenge his thinking. A Sigma man won't be found at parties where everyone is just trying to impress each other with shallow conversations. He would rather find stimulating conversations elsewhere. He understands that life is too short for idle chatter, so he chooses carefully who he spends his time with. While many people misjudge him for his quiet nature, he is actually quite observant and thoughtful. The Sigma man might come off as aloof from the outside, but what lies beneath the surface is a complex individual with a wealth of knowledge and insight. Number 7. They appreciate simplicity. Life is complicated enough as it is, so Sigma males prefer to keep things simple. They don't feel the need to complicate their lives with unnecessary boring people or drama. These men prefer quality over quantity and find that they can get more done when they focus on just 1 or 2 projects at a time. Being simple in this complex world is a form of rebellion. It's a way to take control of your life and become the master of your own domain. Sigma man doesn't need to create chaos, but instead opts for efficiency and effectiveness. He values his time, energy, and resources, and maximizes them all to get the most out of life. So he won't tolerate anything that wasted. He is also not easily impressed by material possessions or social status. Instead, they appreciate those who are well-versed in their craft, have a passion for learning, and strive for excellence in all aspects of life. Number 8. They trust their own judgment. They are independent thinkers who put a lot of stock in their own judgment. They don't always seek out the opinion of others and often rely on their gut when it comes to making decisions. This includes decisions that other people may not agree with or understand. Their decisions will not always be popular, and they don't let this affect them. They trust their own judgment and have faith in the outcome of their choices, even if it's not what everyone else is doing. Life is full of risks and rarely comes with guarantees, but Sigma men are willing to take those risks if it means they get closer to reaching their goals. They don't need validation from others or assurance that they're making the right decisions. Instead, they trust their own judgment and move forward with confidence. We live in a world where everyone second-guesses each other's decisions, which keeps people from believing in themselves. Sigmas are secure enough to trust their own judgment every time. Number 9. They have no need to compete with others. The Sigma is not one to engage in competition and will often opt out of situations where it's necessary. There are many more important things in life than constantly trying to be better than others. He is competing only with himself, striving to be his best version. Comparisons with others can be counterproductive and lead to feelings of inadequacy. Competition is often born out of insecurity and is something to be avoided. Instead, he works on improving and honing his skills without comparing himself with others. I'm not talking about a lack of ambition or drive. It's more about having faith in one's own abilities and trusting that you can achieve your goals without needing to prove yourself to others. The Sigma man refuses to be dragged into someone else's battle and instead focuses on his own journey. So why compete with others when you can find satisfaction in being better than you were yesterday? Number 10. They enjoy observing people, not judging them. When it comes to people watching, the Sigma male is a master. He loves taking in new experiences and observing how others interact with each other. But he doesn't judge those around him. Instead, he tries to learn from them and grow as an individual. This is because everyone has something valuable to offer, even if it's not apparent at first glance. He takes the time to appreciate others and what they have to say rather than passing judgment or making assumptions. The Sigma is an observer, not a critic. He will take in all he sees or hears before forming an opinion. By understanding how people work, he can gain valuable insights into himself and the world around him. This is one of the reasons why he is wise and insightful. The quiet guide at the back of the room who appears to be lost in thought may be a Sigma male. Number 11. They know their worth. No matter who you are or where you come from, everyone has something special that makes them unique. Sigma men understand the power of personal worth and know exactly how to use it to their advantage. They recognize they have something valuable to offer and don't hesitate to show it off. The Sigma knows his own strengths and weaknesses and is confident in who he is. He doesn't let others define him or tell him what to do. Instead, he listens to his inner voice and follows it. He also knows when to put himself first, which can be difficult for some people. By having the courage to stand up for himself and make decisions that align with his values, he demonstrates a unique strength. Sigma male is confident in his own worth and knows what he brings to the table. This is why he is so admired by others and hated by alpha males. Number 12. Their values come first. Putting your own values and beliefs before anything else is one of the defining attributes of a Sigma male. Sigmas are not swayed by popular opinion or influenced by external pressures, but rather choose to adhere to their own values. These values vary from person to person and can range from being environmentally conscious to seeking financial freedom. Whatever the value is, it's important to them, and they stick to it no matter what. The Sigma man is a big believer in the power of personal responsibility and accountability. This is why they are so independent and don't rely on anyone else to decide for them. They don't compromise on the important things, even if it means going against the grain. This commitment to their values sets them apart from everyone else and makes them a leader in any situation. Standing firm on their principles shows others what it looks like to be true to yourself and your beliefs. Being a Sigma isn't just about being independent and setting your own trends. It's also about having the courage to stand up for what you believe in and be an example for others.